Welcome, Jayrick, to the STEM Profile series.
Oh, thanks for having me, Marcus. Appreciate you having me on board your platform. This is it's definitely a great opportunity to share some insights.
All right, so now, as we kind of talked about before, here we talk about science, technology, engineering, and math. And you are an engineer. So, can you talk a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so I've had the privilege of being able to, build spacecraft and science instruments that go into space for a living. I've been trained as an engineer, electrical engineer, and be able to kind of support aerospace applications and um, and be a future astronaut. Literally, I've dedicated, committed my life to solving problems and trying to, really address some of the challenges in society um, for the everyday person. Not just with space exploration and scientific discovery, but also trying to engage with the people on the ground that are below the clouds. And I'm just excited to be able to share my expertise with different stakeholders and decision makers when it comes to best practices when it comes to trying to broaden participation, especially within science and engineering, and trying to help people outside of the non-collegiate pathways, find their passion when it comes to finding the fit that works for them when it comes to contributing to the STEM workforce.
Now, I like that you mentioned a few different things there. So, I kind of want to start here. You start talking about problem solving, and so STEM education is said to, promote problem solving, concentration, communication skills. So, what kind of educational background does somebody need to become an electrical engineer?
That's a great question. Typically there's a difference between an electrician and electrical engineering. And electrician, you can follow a pathway where you're going through apprenticeship programs and certifications, and doesn't require college. But then when you want to really dive into all the multi faceted disciplines of engineering, especially including electrical, um, you have to go to college and fulfill some prerequisite requirements with some additional specialized tracks that help you really zone in within electrical engineering to the highest level that you're interested in. So for me, I focused on electrical engineering undergrad and grad school, and with a extra expertise emphasis on electromagnetics. And so that's how my hair ended up like this, dealing with the flow of electrons and, making sure that they interact, with devices and systems, properly.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, so science is one of my favorite subjects in school. So, I like that. Well, also, what drew you to electrical engineering as opposed to some of the other disciplines in engineering, like civil engineering, structural engineering, those any other disciplines?
That's a good question. The good thing about having parents that didn't go to college, it allows you to be very curious. And so I think the phenomenon of electricity and electrons made me want to continue to dive deeper and deeper to asking more questions. Even when I went to college and up to just now where we're at with just wireless infrastructure and devices and systems, and now AI, it's exciting to see how electricity and how we've used electricity to kind of like really drive the way we communicate. And has been just a phenomenal uh, you know opportunity to bear witness to. I chose it because it was challenging. I chose it because I wanted to be at like the cutting edge of technology, and I wanted to be a part of um, mission oriented teams that would help invent and create a lot of new innovations with fundamental research as well as applied um, engineering in industry and just trying to bring it all together for benefiting consumers and as well as trying to discover things that clearly is outside of this planet.
Now, it sounds like you have also had a lifelong love of science. So what were some of the early educational or STEM experiences that kind of helped you out along this path?
Yeah, engineering for me became more of a lifestyle, when I entered college. But those early organizations such as National Society of Black Engineers, was a great supplemental uh, opportunity to see the possibilities of engineering. Every student, whether you're an engineer or not, has an opportunity to be involved with National Society of Black Engineers, and we host the annual convention every March. This past convention was in Chicago, but it's just a phenomenal um, convention, and everyone remembers their very first convention. This is thousands of you know college students, professionals, as well as K through 12, who all come together to embrace, the power of engineering. And it's a beautiful, celebration, when you see so many people excited about, their academic pathways and professional pathways when it comes to engineering. NSBE is the largest student-run organization in the country. And so we have a national board as well as professional chapters and collegiate chapters and junior NSBE junior chapters that really are wraparounds for our K through 12. So it's a very comprehensive organization and continues to bring in the best and the brightest of talent to industry and other agencies and the workforce. So very proud to be a part of NSBE, and yeah, it still continues to rock.
All right. Now, so you mentioned kind of starting out in college and getting into engineering. Do you have or have you had any mentors that kind of help guide you along this path?
Oh, absolutely. Um, for me, college, made the world of a difference. Like I said, I was the first person in my family to go to college. But the first time I rode an airplane was when I had my first internship um, in my early collegiate career. And that afforded me an opportunity to fly down to Houston, Texas, and work at NASA Johnson Space Center and acquire my first mentor, who was my first PhD uh, kind of orientation to what research and the possibilities of research could look like when you as an engineer. And so uh, that changed my life because he guided me in really gaining an understanding of how electrical engineering could develop over time. And so we're still in great relationship to this day. And yeah, I have clearly multiplied a lot of mentors in addition to him. But yeah, mentorship is important. I mean, I'm actually a test a mentor as well to future scholars and and research early career students.
That's great. That's great. So I guess as you work with students, well, what are you telling them as far as some of the skills that they would need to be successful as an electrical engineer?
Oh, that's one of my fun ones. Life is about love and relationships, and so there's definitely core competencies when it comes to fulfilling the curriculum of an engineer, but looking at the bigger picture of what has helped me to definitely rise up the ranks of promotions and opportunities. It's about relationships. It's about being able to communicate effectively and to be able to have opportunities even outside of engineering that help you understand your sense of who you are. College, I went to Hampton University, and it taught me that human beings can love many things. And so I love poetry, and I love physics, and I love math, and I love the performing arts. And it's so important because we oftentimes separate being smart and being a thinker, and you can be both at the same time. So, um, I'm very passionate about being in my garden and, um, supporting the arts and hosting art events, jazz events specifically here in the district. For young professionals, and it's just being able to combine it all together. I think too often, I think people only think when you choose a career that your career has to, inform all your decisions on life. But I would say it's on the contrary, that your social life, if you design it early and with passion, you can be able to let that inform you on your decisions with your business, your career, and most importantly, your romantic relationships.
Nice, nice. Yeah, you kind of ran the gamut right there. So I like that. I like that. Now I'm a Hampton pirate as well, so I knew I'd like something about you.
There we go. I love it.
All right. So now, um, from here, what would you say for a young person who is trying to get into electrical engineering and wants to learn more about it? What kind of resources would you recommend?
That's a good question. I should have brought it out, but when I got interested initially into engineering, I had an encyclopedia, and what was significant about engineering within you know the information provided in an encyclopedia, we're talking about maybe 4 pages, talking about the different disciplines of engineering. But it wasn't as broadly defined the way that now. uh, you can just pick up your phone and you can find resources that can help you understand engineering and the applications of the engineering disciplines, um, through videos and applications and video games. And so I think, to me, like, young people, or just even professionals that want to pivot and get into the field, it's take advantage of the resources that are around you, especially when it comes to utilizing AI, and to kind of really set up prompts that can help you, really gain an understanding of where you think your desires for what you think you want in terms of social lifestyle can fit within a discipline in engineering like electrical. And for me, using electrical engineering and then applying that in aerospace applications and research with other fundamental applications, I think it was a great foundation for me. And I think it's cool. I've been able to see just the impact of electrical engineering, of course, with space applications, but then also how it affects consumers and businesses and society at large, on the ground. So for me, uh, being able to see electrical engineering communicate through technology, whether you're in space or whether you're on the ground, that has been, the joy of my life. And so I think that's the key, being able to find your discipline and then choose a career, that tailors around your lifestyle objectives. I tell people that all the time. You want to do what you enjoy doing, and don't look at it as a work. You don't want to look at, problem solving as work. It should be, we want to, look out for other people, take care of our families and our communities. And if you can use engineering as a a way to be able to solve problems, to grand challenges, that's a beautiful thing. We need more electrical engineers. We need more women in these fields. We need more, um, you know, just individuals who have just an excitement for wanting to ask good questions, and then and build technology that you know helps measure solutions to those questions.
It's great. That's great. Well, Jayrick, thank you for your time and your insights. It was really great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.